Hello guys, this is Fights and welcome back to my educational YouTube channel. And yes, I just wanna say sorry na ngayon lang po ako ulit nakapaggawa ng lecture video because I was too busy this past few days. And yes, for today's lesson, we will be discussing bacterial growth. So this will be the first start of our chapter 3. Again, we will be discussing bacterial growth. Okay, now let's start the discussion. So what is a bacterial growth? Guys, that is the increase in bacterial numbers. Again, if it's a bacterial growth, yan yung pagpapadami ng bacteria, okay? But if it's a generation time or doubling time, that is the average time required for an organism to double its number, okay? If it's a generation time or doubling time, yan yung nire-require ng isang organism para mag-double siya, okay? Para mag-double yung number niya, okay? But if yung pagpaparami ng bacteria, yun yung bacterial growth. Okay? Now guys, for the bacterial growth, we have growth requirements, okay? May mga nire-require yung mga bacteria for their growth. Actually, we have two categories. We have the nutrient requirements and the physical requirements. Now first, let's talk about nutrient requirements. So meron po tayong mga subcategories dito. First guys, we have the carbon. So under nutrient requirements, we have the carbon or the carbon requirements. Now, there are two classification of organism under this. We have the autotrophs and the heterotrophs. Now guys, autotrophs is also known as the lytotrophs, okay? Also known as the lytotrophs. These organisms require only water and organic salts and carbon dioxide for growth. Again, pag autotroph organism, yun lang yung makailangan niya, ha? Water and organic salts and carbon dioxide. They don't require organic nutrients for growth. So, hindi na po nila kailangan yung mga organic nutrients for growth. Example of organic nutrients, guys, ano nga? Di ba, you have the protein, the carbohydrates, and lipids, di ba? So, ang mga lytotrophs or autotrophs, hindi na nila kailangan yun. Second classification of organism needs carbon as a growth requirement. We have the heterotrophs, or also known as the organotrophs. So, these organisms require an organic form of carbon for growth, okay? Kailangan niya ng organic form of carbon for growth. Yung si autotrophs, hindi niya kailangan ng mga organic nutrients, okay? Ito si heterotrophs needs organic carbon for growth. Second guys, under nutrient requirements, we have the nitrogen requirement, okay? We have the nitrogen requirement. Now guys, nitrogen is a major component of proteins and nucleic acid of a typical bacterial cell. The end product of all pathways for nitrogen assimilation is the ammonium ion. Again, kung tandaan nyo pa yung sa biochem nyo or sa chemistry, di ba? We know that the end product of the assimilation of a nitrogen, di ba, is always ammonium ion. Okay? Yan yung end product niya. Now, yung ammonium ion na yan, guys, yan yung sole nitrogen source ng most of the microorganisms. Okay? Yan yung main source ng mga microorganism for their nitrogen requirement, yung ammonium ion. Hindi mismo po yung nitrogen, but the end product, which is the ammonium ion. Okay? So, many organisms possess the ability to produce it from amines. Yun ang second requirement, the nitrogen. Third, guys, we have the growth factors. Requirement for the nutrient requirement of bacteria or organism is the growth factors. Yan yung pangatlo. So, growth factors, guys, they're organic compounds necessarily needed by a bacterium in order to grow. Okay? So, they necessarily need this organic compounds in order for them to grow. So, kailangan nila to. So, these substances are usually provided in the culture medium. So, di ba, we have different types of culture medium. So, yes, guys, yung mga growth factors na yun, present siya sa mga culture medium. So, example of the growth factors, you have the B-complex vitamins. amino acids, purines, pyrimidines, pentoses, and fatty acids. So, yun yung mga example ng mga growth factors natin. Now, kung kanina guys sa carbon requirements, meron tayong dalawang classification ng organism, which is the autotrophs and the heterotrophs. Now, dito sa growth factors, meron tayong dalawang klase ng organism na kailangan nila ng growth factors. Anong tawag sa kanila? So, you have the prototrophic organism or the prototrophs and the ausotrophic organism or the autotrophs, okay? For the prototrophs, guys, they do not require an exogenous source of growth factors since they synthesize their own. So, hindi na nila kailangan, diba sinabi ko kanina, na yung mga growth factor, like purines, amino acid, vitamins, pyrimidines, they are present or provided sila sa mga culture medium. Now, yung mga prototrophs organisms, guys, although they need growth factors, hindi na nila kailangan mismo yung mga growth factors na present sa culture medium. Bakit? Because they can synthesize their own growth factors. So, amazing. Second, you have the autotrophs, okay? I mean, auxotrophs, okay? These auxotrophs, guys, they require the addition of growth factor to culture media for growth to occur, okay? Opposite sila. Kung si prototrophs, no need na niya yung mga additional growth factors sa culture media because makasynthesize siya ng sarili niyang growth factor. Itong si auxotrophs, okay, I can pronounce it properly. Sila, kailangan nila ng additional growth factor sa culture media para mag-grow sila. Okay? Okay guys, next nutrient requirement, you have the number 4, which is the inorganic salt requirement or simply the salt requirement. So some of the organisms, guys, they just need a small amount of salts to stimulate their growth, okay? Kailangan lang nila ng konting salts para mag-grow sila or ma-stimulate yung growth nila. But there are organisms that need a high amount of salt concentration. Ano ang tawag sa kanila? Ito yung importante. Okay, yung tawag sa kanila. Okay, ang tawag sa mga organisms na nagre-require ng high salt concentration, actually it's 6.5% NaCl or sodium chloride or salt yung kailangan nila. They are called halophilic organism. Again, halophilic ang tawag sa kanila. Mga organisms na kailangan ng matataas na concentration ng organic salts. That's it. Example of this is the Staphylococcus aureus and the Vibrio cholerae. Okay? Staphylococcus aureus and the Vibrio cholerae ang example ng organisms na kailangan ng 6.5% sodium chloride. Next guys, number 5 under nutrient requirements, you have the oxygen requirement. So, ito importante talaga kasi we have different classification of organism who needs oxygen. So, hindi lahat po ng organisms or microorganisms pare-parehas ng oxygen requirements, okay? Meron silang different categories actually. So, number 1, kasi meron tayong major classification. You have the aerobes and the anaerobes. Now, what's the difference between aerobes and anaerobes? If we say aerobes, guys, these are organisms that grow in the presence of atmospheric oxygen, okay? Atmospheric oxygen. That is aerobes. How about anaerobes? If we say anaerobes, these are organisms that grow in the absence of atmospheric oxygen. In short, ang aerobes, kailangan, yung organisms na aerobes, kailangan nila ng oxygen. While the anaerobes, hindi nila kailangan ng, or they grow in the absence of the atmospheric oxygen or free oxygen. Now, under aerobes, guys, meron tayong tatlong category kasi. You have the obligate aerobes, facultative anaerobes, and the microaerophiles. Ano ang difference ng tatlo? If we say obligate aerobes, guys, these are organisms that grow only in the presence of oxygen. That is why tinatawag silang obligate aerobes or strict aerobes. Kasi dumadami lang sila or nag-grow lang sila if there is a presence of oxygen, okay? So malamang pag walang presence of oxygen, mamamatay sila. Now second, di ba, you have the facultative anaerobes. What do you mean by facultative anaerobes? Guys, facultative anaerobes, they are fundamentally aerobes, okay? But they can grow in the absence of oxygen, okay? Yung facultative anaerobes, actually they are aerobes, but they can also grow in the absence of oxygen. So, parang kung sa tao pa bisexual sila, guys, char lang. Basta ang facultative anaerobes, nabubuhay sila with the presence of oxygen and the absence of oxygen. And the third, guys, under aerobes, you have the microaerophiles. Ano yung microaerophiles? These are organisms, guys, that grow best at low or reduced oxygen tension, okay? Micro, sa pangalan pa lang niya, microaerophiles. So, kailangan lang niya ng low or reduced oxygen tension, okay? mabubuhay siya the best in a low or presence of much lower or reduced oxygen. Now guys, how about anaerobes? Ano yung mga unders anaerobes? Meron din tayong tatlo guys. You have the obligate anaerobes. Of course, sa pangalan pa lang, obligate anaerobes. Okay, obligate anaerobes. So they grow only in the absence of oxygen. Okay, opposite kanina sa obligate aerobes. Itong obligate anaerobes, mabubuhay lang sila or they will grow in the absence of oxygen. Second guys, you have the facultative aerobes. How about facultative aerobes? So they are fundamentally anaerobes but can grow in the presence of oxygen. Okay? Pag facultative aerobes, they are actually anaerobes, but they can grow in the presence of oxygen. Guys, don't get confused between facultative anaerobes or facultative aerobes, okay? Kasi facultative anaerobes, yun yung mga facultative anaerobes, yun yung mga aerobes, but can grow in the absence of oxygen. Pag sasabihin mong facultative aerobes, they are anaerobes that can grow in the presence of oxygen, okay? Don't get confused. And lastly, guys, aerotolerant anaerobes. What do you mean by aerotolerant anaerobes? So these organisms do not grow well, but do survive in the presence of oxygen. Okay? Aerotolerant anaerobes. These are organisms na hindi sila nag-grow ng mabuti with the presence of oxygen, but they can still survive. Okay? Pero hindi sila nag-grow ng mabuti. But they can still survive. Okay? That is aerotolerant. So, yun lang yung classifications of microorganisms that require oxygen, okay, as a nutrient requirement. Next requirement, guys, under nutrient requirements, you have the number 6, which is the carbon dioxide. Now, guys, although yung mga organism, di ba, mas kailangan nila yung oxygen, di ba, to live or to grow. But, remember na lahat ng organisms or lahat ng aerobic, specifically aerobic bacteria or organism, they still need carbon dioxide, okay? Para mag-grow sila. So, but they just need 0.03% of carbon dioxide. So, konti lang. Yung mga aerobic organism or bacteria, kailangan lang nila ng 0.03% of carbon dioxide. Now, how about those organisms that require higher concentration of carbon dioxide for their growth? Actually, around 5 to 10% carbon dioxide. Anong tawag sa kanila? Kung kanina yung mga organism na mayroong higher concentration of salt, ang tawag ay halophilic. Dito naman sa mga organism na kailangan or nagre-require ng higher concentration of carbon dioxide, they are called capnophilic or they are capnophiles, okay? Organism that require higher concentration of carbon dioxide, which is 5 to 10%, is called capnophiles or capnophilic organisms. So that's it about carbon dioxide requirement. So next requirement, guys, under nutrient requirements, we have the number 7, which is the moisture requirement. So organisms, guys, that love a moist environment, so they love moist, they are called as humidophilic organisms or humidophiles. Again, yung mga organisms that requires increased moisture content, they are called humidophiles or humidophilic organisms. Okay? Again, wag niyong kalimutan. Kanina, pag high salt concentration, they are called halophilic or halophiles. Pag high concentration of carbon dioxide, they are called capnophiles or capnophilic organisms. Now, pag they love moist environment or moist-loving organisms, they are called humidophilic organisms or humidophiles. Okay? Okay, that's all about our nutrient requirements. And let's have a recap. Under this, you have the carbon requirement, nitrogen requirement, growth factors requirement, inorganic salts requirement, oxygen requirement, carbon dioxide requirement, and the moisture requirement. Okay, now guys, let's proceed to the physical requirements of the bacterial growth requirement. Now, there are 3 subcategories under here. We have the temperature requirement, the hydrogen ion concentration requirement, and the osmotic pressure requirement. Now guys, number 1 is the temperature requirement. Guys, remember that most or every bacterium grows best at the optimal temperature. Again, most of the bacterium grows best at an optimal temperature, okay? But there are classification of organisms in their temperature requirement. First, guys, we have the psychrophiles or the psychrophilic organisms. Guys, psychrophilic organisms, they are cold-loving organism, okay? Psychrophilic organisms, they are cold-loving organisms. So, they grow at 10 to 20 degrees Celsius, okay? They grow at 10 to 20 degrees Celsius. They are psychrophilic organism. Second, guys, you have the mesophilic organisms. Now, guys, mesophilic organisms they grow at 20 to 40 degrees Celsius. Again, basta mga mesophilic organisms, they grow at 20 to 40 degrees Celsius. But remember, guys, that most of the pathogens grow at 37 degrees Celsius, okay? 20 to 40 degrees Celsius ang mesophilic, but yung best temperature niya is 30 to 37 degrees Celsius. Now, most of the pathogenic bacteria, guys, they are mesophilic or mesophiles. So, yung mga bacteria na nagkakakos ng mga sakit sa tao, or the pathogenic bacteria, they are mesophiles, most of them. And lastly, guys, you have the thermophiles or the thermophilic organisms. Sa pangalan pa lang niya, thermophilic. So, they are heat-loving organisms. They grow at 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. Again, they grow at 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. They are thermophilic organisms. So, that's it about our temperature requirement. Now, second requirement, guys, under physical requirements, we have the hydrogen ion concentration, okay, or the pH concentration, or hydrogen ion concentration. So, guys, most of the pathogenic bacteria have an optimal pH of 7.2 to 7.6. Again, guys, most of the pathogens, or yung mga bacteria, again, na nakakapag-cause ng infection sa mga tao, humans, they have an optimal pH which is 7.2 to 7.6. Okay? Now, okay. Now, guys, let's have the classification of bacteria or organism in their pH concentration requirement. Okay, number 1, guys, you have the acidophiles or the acidophilic organisms. So these organisms grow at pH of 6.5 to 7. Okay, mga acidophiles or acidophilic organism, they grow at 6.5 to 7.0 pH. Second, guys, you have the neutrophiles or the neutrophilic organisms. They grow at pH 7.5 to 8. Again, pag neutrophiles, their pH is 7.5 to 8. And lastly, guys, is the alkalophiles or the alkalophilic organisms. They grow at pH 8.4 to 9. Again, 8.4 to 9 pH for alkalophiles. Okay, that's it. And lastly, guys, last requirement under physical requirements, we have the osmotic pressure. Again, we have the osmotic pressure. Now, organisms, guys, requiring high osmotic pressure is what we called osmophiles. Okay? Organisms that require high osmotic pressure, they are called osmophile or osmophilic organisms. So, yun lang muna, guys, yung discussion natin for now. The bacterial growth requirement. Next video natin, I don't know when ko ulit ma-upload, but yeah, we will proceed sa sa major phase of the growth curve of the bacteria. Then, after nyan, punta na tayo dun sa yung mga classification na ng bacteria, okay? And after the classification, or every bacteria na i-discuss, doon na yung, doon ko na isisingit yung mga laboratory test nila, or yung mga biochemical test nila. So, again, guys, I hope you learned something today, and don't forget to read your notes and study well. God bless you and stay safe.